I've done some videos on like older, kind of sleepery, fringy prospects, but going back and watching the top guys is just as fun. And Joel Embiid was an unbelievable college player. Obviously, an MVP level player now, and that was certainly evident in his college tape. One thing that you may not know, if you weren't really privy to what Embiid was doing in college, is that he was an unbelievable, like top tier big man passer. Like I am very surprised based on his college tape that Embiid isn't like the second best big man passer in the league next to Jokic. Obviously, he's become a pretty alright passer, especially off his gravity. He's improved a lot there, but he still has his warts as a passer. But watch what Embiid was doing. Like he got so much pressure all the time because he was a monster post scorer. He was able to dribble, survey, and pass to Wiggins low. Like this is a scrambling defense that Joel Embiid is picking apart. I mean, he waits for his spot. He waits for the defense to kind of fall asleep, and once number 5 over here ends up moving out, Embiid, beautifully places it to Wiggins on the cut. Embiid was impossible to double team, which was rough because that was kind of the only way you were stopping him as a scorer. But he was so good at hitting his little back out skips. The defense always had to tilt towards Embiid, always still has to tilt towards Embiid. You don't really see Embiid make passes like this super often in the league anymore, but he was doing this regularly in college, where he sees kind of one little defensive slip. The Andrew Wiggins cut here is nice to occupy, and he's immediately hitting that shooter on the outside because of just how amazing of a passer he was, and ends up finishing that play. Again, Embiid this time is patient, kind of has a read that he could make here with the tagger sinking. But he ends up not making it. He pumps there, and he probably thinks this defender's too close, so he backs out, waits for this defender to leave, and the timing here is what's so impressive. He throws this ball the second this defender leaves, and right the second this defender goes, which creates an opening, and gets his teammate a wide open three. It is really a sight to behold, watching Joseph Embiid pass the ball like this. It wasn't just skips, as Embiid, again, just so aware of where the defenders were. And obviously, NBA defenses are better, and maybe, they're obviously just haven't been as many, gaffes as has happened, but he was so good at punishing help and punishing, off-ball lapses immediately. Like, he was ruthless punishing defenses who loaded up on his scoring threat. And that's just something that, Embiid hasn't been able to really actualize on in the league. Despite just being like an incredible scorer as well. Again, Embiid just did stuff like this, where he just launched an outlet like Jokic, and I think Andrew Wiggins finishes that, yeah. And again, like his passing in the league, looks mostly like this, where defenders just load up on his threat with before he even takes a dribble, and he's able to kick out, and the Sixers are swinging. And getting open shots. But you feel like in another universe, like in some other plane of existence, Embiid is able to find this pass by himself. Like, I don't know. Based on his college tape, you would think so. But it's also just like crazy that Embiid, seemed to like not hit this high level passing outcome and is still ended up being maybe the best player in the league in whatever year this is. It's pretty incredible. This was almost the greatest pass of all time. Like, if Embiid was able to, like, save this bad pass and tap this through, that would have been unbelievable. I just wanted to throw that clip in there. Love that clip. And, we haven't really showed any of Embiid's scoring. But he was, like, Hakeem-like at times. I think I literally, like, titled this clip on my computer, like Joel Hakeem. Very, very nice textbook. Dream Shake. The athleticism, which we'll see more of on the defense section. The footwork, the touch, like... it's the Joel Embiid we know and love. Like, this is nothing new. And it is crazy, like, how skinny Embiid was back then as well. Like, he isn't even, like, that skinny. Like, he's skinny. Like, this is probably a little thicker than Mobley was in college and, currently is. But, like, man, compared to how he is now. And, some things never change, and that is Embiid being a dominant defender and most notably a dominant rim protector. But watching him with vertical explosion, like, real vertical explosion is crazy. Like, watch how quickly Embiid gets off the floor to just, like, block out the sun and erase this one. And Embiid just doesn't get up like this anymore. I mean, years of injuries will do that to a guy, unfortunately. But Joel was able to rise and move so effortlessly. Like these blocks just come very easy. You don't really need much space to get swatted by Joel Embiid. And again, like this doesn't really look like he's in an amazing position when this driver releases the ball, but he's able to get up so fast. He's so long, when that ball is pretty seamlessly spiked off of the glass. Again, even when he has to load up, just the length and the size, able to cover so much area in that paint. And again, even when Embiid, I believe in this play, he ends up jumping early, he's able to set back down with the second jump. And again, there's absolutely no load time here. Like a lot of defenders have to load up and bend their knees before they jump and block shots, but Embiid is like standing straight up, and then he jumps and swats the shot. Like it's so impressive. And Embiid wasn't like the greatest mover of all time, but he still was like very good for a guy who was true 7 foot and massive. Just like watch him play deny defense on this guard. Like this is awesome. Like Marcus Smart is also in this game, and this is like a defensive effort that would make Marcus proud. Pestering a guy on a DHO as a 7-footer. But yeah, college Embiid was ridiculous. A very fun and cool prospect, and this is just a little recap. So, maybe you learned something new, and you didn't know Embiid was like that as a passer, but he was.